Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Natalie and today we're here with another TBR prompt jar. Prompt cards choose my November TBR, which is literally mind-blowing to me. This year has flown by so fast, like one of the quickest years. I feel like every single year goes by quicker and quicker, but I truly cannot believe that we're already going into November. I'm honestly kind of sad. I love October, it's my favorite month. We still get fall vibes in November because the leaves are still changing, so we still definitely have some fall reads on this TBR card. I'm not straying away from them yet. I honestly read a lot of thrillers in October because spooky season just gives me thriller vibes. So that's what I kind of ended up picking up from last month's TBR that I picked. So I do have a few on here that are more romancy books from last month's TBR that I still want to read, but I just didn't get to. But I still consider it all going into early November. I'm holding on to that. So that's what we're going to do today. Let's get into it. I think I'm going to do 8 books this month. Let's get into number 1 of November. Okay, this says a book with a cover you don't like. This feels mean. Let's see what we have. A book cover that I don't like. This feels mean, but this is the cover I'm going to choose. I don't love the cover. I mean, there's nothing like very special about it, I feel. It's Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. I feel like this is a safe bet because I honestly like most of the covers on here. This one just doesn't have a lot going on with it, so I feel like it's a safe bet that I chose this one. I picked this book up recently because I've seen so many people talking about it on Book Talk, Bookstagram, all of that stuff. It's really intrigued me. I've heard really good things about it and I've heard really bad things about it. So I have no idea where I'll be at on the spectrum, but this book is about one woman and 5 brothers, which sounds crazy. She's dating one of the brothers named Trace, and Trace has 4 brothers. Honestly, the back of this book does not give me a whole lot of what it's going to be about, but it just says that one night she needs to crash on the couch and one of the brothers hears her crying and comes up behind her, and it's not her boyfriend. I think this book's going to be kind of spicy. We'll see how it ends up. I don't know really what to expect from it. It's my first Penelope Douglas book. I've been very intrigued to read this book, but also people told me to look up like trigger warnings and just research about the book. So, ooh, it has a playlist too. We love a book with a playlist, so that'll be exciting. But this is gonna be our first book on the November TBR, and it's a cover I don't like. Number 1 of November is Five Brothers by Penelope Douglas. Book number 2 of November, a book with a trope you love. Okay, let's see which books of these have tropes I love. For this one, I'm going to choose the book Fall for Him by Andy Burke. This is one I didn't get to on my last October TBR, and I really want to get to it. And I still feel it's kind of like fall vibes going into the beginning of November. So we're going to pull it for this card because it has a forced proximity trope in it, and I love a forced proximity trope. This book's about Dylan and Derek. Dylan is the upstairs neighbor of Derek. They live in an apartment building, and one day the plumbing fails and Dylan's apartment floods, and he falls through the ceiling into Derek's apartment. After falling through the ceiling, Dylan offers to fix this catastrophe because he needs to kind of keep it quiet, so him and Derek end up having to live together. So it's a forced proximity trope. I think it'll be really cute. It's also a queer book and I love those, so I'm excited to read this. I feel like it's gonna be just a cute little book going into the beginning of fall, and I really want to pick this one up, so we're adding it to the November TBR. Book number 2. Book number 3 of November, a book with a one-word title. Okay, let's see what we have for one-word titles. Do we have any? The only book I have with a one-word title on my TBR card right now is Throttled by Lauren Asher. This is about racing and like Formula One, which I've never read anything about, but I've heard really good things about it, and I love Lauren Asher's writing. She was a new author for me this year, and I fell in love with her writing. I think she's so easy to read. I love her characters. I love the banter between the characters, so I've really been wanting to pick this one up. The story is about Maya and Noah. Maya's the sister of Noah's rival in racing. Noah really likes Maya. He has this strong desire for her and wants to be around her a lot, but he's trying to keep his distance because of the season and trying to stay focused. But Maya's basically invited to join her brother when he competes for the world championship. She has to travel everywhere with him and obviously sees Noah throughout all of their travels, and their connection is kind of undeniable. They can't really stay away from each other, so I'm excited. I think it'll be really cute and quick book to read just because her writing is so great and goes so fast for me. Formula One should be fun because I've never read about it before, so this is going to be our 3rd book for our November TBR. Book number 4 for November is, ooh, I keep grabbing multiple cards. This is a book published before 2015, which honestly, this is going to be easy because I am choosing the Harry Potter book. I did not get to reading this Harry Potter book last month. It is such a thick one. This book's like 800 pages, so it is a big book, but I told myself I would finish the Harry Potter series before the year's over, and I don't want to break that promise. I really want to finish it this year, so I'm going to put this on my TBR. I obviously know this was published before for 2015. This book was published in 2003, so no issues with that. I really want to get to this book. I know it's so thick during the winter, like fall months. It's just perfect. So I need to carry it over into next month, and I'm really hoping I can get to it. So we're adding this big boy to the TBR. Let me know if you guys have read the Harry Potter series, which one is your favorite, because I've read the first 4. Need to get to this one, so I obviously haven't read the entire series, but I'm curious which book is a favorite of the Harry Potter girlies. Like, I'd really like to know. Let me know in the comments if you guys have read the whole series, what your favorite book is. Book number 4 for November. Book number 5 going into November. Let's see what we get. A book you've had for a long time. Honestly, we have a lot of these, but I'm gonna go for like books that I've had for a really long time. Oh, there's actually a few. There's actually a few, guys. I've had A Court of Wings and Ruin for a long time, but honestly, now that I just pulled that really thick Harry Potter book, there's no way I can read both these books on top of my other TBR this month, so I'm so sorry for the ACOTAR girls, but that one's out. I've had The Goal for a really long time. I love the Off-Campus series. I just haven't completed it yet. I've read the first 3. This is the 4th one, so I've had that one for quite a long time. I've had Things We Left Behind forever, and I have yet to read it, guys. I don't know what happened. Whenever a book comes out, I tend to put it off because I don't know, I'm nervous. Like, I'm nervous I'm not gonna like it, or I'm nervous it's gonna be too overhyped, so I tend to put it off, but I really need to complete the series because I love the first 2 books. So I don't know why I've been putting this off, but I have. So this is a possibility. I'm gonna pull The Goal by Elle Kennedy just because I have that really thick Harry Potter book I need to get to, so I'm kind of trying to avoid the really thick ones right now. So we're gonna pull this one because I do love the Off-Campus series. If you guys don't know or have never read it before, it's a hockey college romance series. Follows different characters in this friend group throughout different books. This book is about Sabrina, who's a college senior. She kind of has like her whole life planned out. She's one of those people that knows what she wants to do, has her like eyes set on a goal, and is going for it. She ends up having a one-night stand with Tucker, who's like a hockey college star, and she ends up getting pregnant. So there is a pregnancy trope in this. I think that's why I've been putting it off for a little bit. I'm not super into pregnancy tropes, but I have to complete the series. I love it so much, so I obviously have to complete it eventually, so we're going to read it. And this obviously will change both their lives. They're super young still, and they weren't expecting it. But we're gonna add this to the list. The Goal by Elle Kennedy is book number 5 for November. Book number 6 going into November is, ooh, a book with a pink cover. Okay, cute. Love that for us. We have a few pink covers on here. This one's out. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll get to it eventually, I promise. We have Love Unwritten, Betting on You. This particular cover is basically all pink. And then the last option we have for pink covers is This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which again, I've had on my TBR for a little bit and I really want to read it, but my heart is kind of pulling me towards this one right now. How can I say no to these little pink edges with the hearts? I can't. I literally can't say no. So I have to pick this one. I read my first Lynn Painter book this year, which was better than the movie. Absolutely loved it. Thought it was so good. So I've really been wanting to pick up more of her books. This book's about Bailey and Charlie. They actually met 10 years ago when she moved to Omaha and kind of hated each other, but it's 10 years later now and they are actually co-workers. Their chat is very easy, but they decide that they can't stand each other still after they see 2 of their co-workers flirting, and he basically makes a bet with Bailey that genders of the opposite sex cannot just be friends, and Bailey obviously wants to take him up on this bet. She then decides that they are going to fake date because her mom and her mom's new boyfriend, something's going on with them. She wants to fake date Charlie, and this is hard for Charlie because he ends up realizing he has feelings for Bailey and is kind of trying to hide that. I think it's gonna be a really cute little romance. Love Lynn Painter's writing. Book number 6 for November is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Book number 7 is a romance book. We have quite a few romance books on here. Ooh, okay. Guys, I'm pulling this book because I did not get to it in October and I really want to get to it. I think these books are so cute. This is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore by Lori Gilmore. I read the Pumpkin Spice Cafe in September and loved it. I mean, it wasn't like the best book ever, but it was super cute, and I want to add this one to November because I just love it. I love the vibes it gives. It gives all the fall vibes, and it's still fall. It's still fall. Holding on to that. So I'm going to add The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore to the November TBR. This book's about Hazel. She runs the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore in town, and she basically discovers a hidden message in one of the books in her bookstore one day and kind of wants to follow this message to find out what it means. She needs some help, and that's where Noah comes in. He lives in the town and has always had a crush on her, so he's like super willing to help her, but they have super undeniable chemistry and there's little romance going on, so it's just gonna be a cute little read. I think it's like perfect for adding it to the November TBR. So I'm gonna add this one for book number 7. Last last book of November. Let's see what we get. This is a book with gold foil on the cover. And honestly, the last book I just pulled has gold foil on the cover, but so does This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan, which I've really been wanting to read. Like, look how pretty this gold foiling is. I read Before I Let Go, I don't know, earlier this summer probably. Loved it. I met Kennedy Ryan and got to go see one of her talks and meet with her, and she was so pleasant. I loved her so much. She was so sweet. Amazing. Just loved her so much. So I really want to continue on with this series. This book specifically focuses on Soledad. She's one of Yasmin's best friends in the first book, if you haven't read it, but she kind of has her whole life together. She's a planner, just kind of want to stick to the plan kind of person, but she's actually betrayed by the person she thinks she can trust most and obviously devastated. This leads to her kind of like rediscovering herself, and then she meets Judah, which is this man that comes into her life, but she doesn't know if she can trust him because she has had that trust broken. So it's kind of just like rediscovering herself, finding self-love, and also having this man come into her life and see where he plays a part in her life. So I'm very excited to read this. Love her book so much, and I think I'm really going to love this book. So I'm excited to add it to the November TBR. But those are all the books I'm going to add to my November TBR. I feel like we have a good little selection here. Some fall books, but also just like some romance. I don't think we have any thrillers this month, which is kind of fine because I read a lot of thrillers in October, so it's a good little break. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I cannot believe we're going into November already. It's absolutely insane. But thank you guys again for watching today's video. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys in my next one.